What's going on YouTube? It's Bull Quality Content here, and welcome to another episode of Is It Over Yet? I'm here with Joel for
Hi.
the second time. Jack still isn't back. He's still dead. So, yeah. And today we're going to be reviewing Sweet Home, released in 2015 and directed by Rafa Martinez. This is a horror movie about a couple who are trapped in an apartment building, and there are killers that are trying to kill them and stuff. It was a bad movie in general, but we thought we'd watch it.
And in the beginning of the movie, it was talking about people getting kicked out of their apartment, which is eviction.
Yeah.
And it was like 85% of evictions go smoothly, 12% is by force,
And
2% by
other
means. That only adds up to 99% though.
Yes. So, if you're new to this show, this happens in 3 parts. We do the intro, which we just did, and then we explain the movie's plot over a period of 15 to 20 minutes probably.
Yeah.
And then we do the reverse review. We rate it from 1 to 5, 5 being the worst movie ever, and 1 being it was actually a decent film, and then we put our scores together for a total score out of 10. The lowest score being 2, and the highest score being 10.
Okay, so the beginning of the movie, Alicia, or Allie, as her partner calls her, is in the apartment building that she's going to get trapped in a bit. But she is talking to an older man, and his name was Raymond. And this movie takes place in Spain, so a lot of it was in Spanish. A lot of words were Spanish.
Yeah, so we had to read some subtitles.
So we had to read some subtitles and compare the Dora Spanish that we learned from when we were kids.
Yes.
And basically, she was talking...
Also, we were going to review... Sometime, I don't know if I'm going to do it with, but sometime we're going to review the new Dora movie on this show, because I think it's going to be horrible. So.
I actually think it's going to be decent. Probably like a 4.
Like a kids movie?
Like a 4.
Good for...
It'd probably be a 4 on the scale.
Probably a 4, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
but...
keep going.
Okay, so she was in the apartment building talking to Raymond on how he was probably going to get evicted and she couldn't really do anything about it. But she said that she was basically going to try to help. And that was really just the first scene. Most of it was she was walking up the stairs. Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the beginning part.
The beginning part. Where, like, it was at Christmas or something? Like, it's around Christmas, I think.
Yeah,
and there was this old lady,
and she put on the song Joy to the World for some reason.
In Spanish, and she was taking a shower, and this guy goes into her house, and he puts cockroaches
on her sponge.
And then
somehow it makes her
When
slip.
she uses it, she gets scared and she trips and she falls on the shower, like on the bathtub tap, and it impales her and kills her, so that's 1 kill. And
that goes back to her walking up the stairs.
And then she's on the phone with her boyfriend, Simon. And then after she talks with the old man, she goes to pick him up and blindfolds him, and then goes to the apartment building again. She leaves the phone in the car because she needed to charge it. That's a plot point. And also earlier, the old man was talking about a hole in one of the apartment's roofs that needs to get fixed, and that is also a plot point.
And there's also a big little attic thing that would not close fully. That's also a big plot point that was in the apartment earlier.
Yeah. And also, they arrive at the apartment. She takes the blindfold off him, and it's revealed to be a birthday party in this crappy apartment.
Yeah. It says Feliz Kamala something. And basically, they talk, they have the sex, and then...
They have the sex.
The sex.
We don't know that, but they probably did.
They probably did. He was shirtless. She was in...
What she was wearing.
What she was wearing, but yeah,
And she attempts to give him a birthday present, and he refuses because of like money problems or something.
He hates birthday presents, it seems.
So then she leaves, and
He opens it, and
it's a pen. That pen will come in handy later in the movie.
And then
She goes
out, and then oh, 3 killers show up
She goes upstairs into
into
the the old man's cat is outside the door, so she brings it upstairs and it goes in and the door's open, and then she walks in and she hides because there's 3 masked men.
And she finds the
Yeah,
old man, Raymond, and
he was probably choked to death.
Yeah.
Because there's no like stab wounds or
That's
anything.
kill number 2.
Kill number 2. And then the killers kill the cat.
Yeah.
And then the killers kill the cat. She tries to call Simon only to realize that his phone is in the car. And then
She tries to call herself. Because it's her phone.
Oh, yeah. And then somebody calls her and she drops the phone and it lands on the bottom floor. And it lands on the bottom floor and it crashes.
Plot point
It
again.
crashed. And then then the killers know where they are, so they send one of the guys up to get her.
And then Simon was stupid enough to walk out and find the phone, and then started to call Allie and was like, Allie, where are you? And the killers found him. So one of them chased after him and then tackled him, but then they rolled down a few steps, and somehow the guy like snapped his neck or something from falling down 4.
Because 4 stairs, and he was unconscious.
Yeah, and he never woke up, so we're assuming he died.
And also, one of the killers that went into the thing, he was getting Allie, but he couldn't find her because she hid in the ceiling.
Which is the plot point that we mentioned earlier, where
She was
the
hiding in the
shaft.
ceiling hole, yeah.
Yeah.
So he couldn't find her, and then they capture Simon, and they bring him to a building in the apartment, and they bring him to a room in the apartment building, and they search through his stuff, and they're trying to find out who the girl is.
And they find out that Simon's a doctor.
And so they want him to help them with the guy who snapped his neck. Apparently they're brothers.
Yeah, they're all brothers apparently. And basically, the guy left, so it was just the unconscious guy and Simon. And Simon's like, well, I'm gonna look through him. And he finds a cell phone.
He finds a phone.
And calls, I think it was 112. I think it was 112 in Spain. So it's basically like 911, but in Spain, 112.
Yeah.
And they're like, where are you? And the thing was, big plot point, when Simon was blindfolded, Alicia never told him where they were going. So the 911 operator's like, where are you? He's like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
so
that was the suck. That's also a plot thing.
Yeah. And
then the other guy comes back and he tries to fight him. They scuffle. They have a big scuffle. He stabs him in the
side right here.
In the side.
Here.
Yeah.
And then
Alicia comes in with a baseball bat.
And then
or like a metal pipe and hits him on the ground.
And then Simon pulls out his pen and stabs him in the neck a bunch of times. He's like, ha, 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 ha.
So this guy's like 3 wounds in his neck and he's dead.
And then he just turns to Allie. And then Allie was like,
freaked out.
What the hell
because
did
you
just do?
He murdered the guy with your birthday present. Yeah. And then, since the guy is unconscious, he's probably dead too. So that's 2 more kills to add to the count.
Yeah. So there's one more guy left.
And he is currently somewhere.
And we don't really know. But they're basically like, a lot of this movie was just a bunch of mumbling in Spanish and in English. So we couldn't hear a lot of it. So
yeah, like
it did make sense.
Like the main girl has like a Spanish accent.
So like
even if she did speak English, we couldn't really understand it that good.
So at first she would talk like I'm just gonna like show like at first she was like English, and then like halfway through the movie she's like English, and then the last part of the movie she's like English. basically. She would like switch how thick her accent was, sort of thing. And like most of like the acting was okay. It's just sometimes
There's a lot of unnecessary screaming and crying.
and some of it was delayed a lot.
Yeah. So then they try to go upstairs back to the third floor to escape, and the one guy catches them, and they run into a locked room. They lock it.
And it has like spray paint all around.
So then he tries to get in, and Alicia puts spray paint in his eyes, so that blinds him, and they're able to lock the door.
So then he smokes a cigarette to calm his nerves, I think.
So he's like, ah, God,
Oh,
and then
crap.
he calls for backup.
Backup.
The best backup.
The backup.
The best backup in a slasher movie ever. But we're not getting to that part yet. So basically, she tries to
Escape through
she
a back
escapes
room.
through a hatch. It's just a hole in the floor, and it goes to their apartment at the bottom floor. So then she doubles around while Simon keeps yelling to distract the guy, and
The guy eventually breaks a little hole in the door.
with a fire extinguisher, he breaks the peephole part open.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But Simon was
whole other
prepared
thing.
because he knew that he was breaking through the hole, so Simon had taken his belt off and had
wrapped
like
it around his hand, wrapped it around the guy's hand, and tied it to the doorknob.
so
So then the guy's hand was effectively trapped in there.
yeah.
Well, and Alicia the entire time was climbing up there's like a ladder that went up
And
to a
then-
little service elevator.
Backup arrives.
So he climbs up. No, she climbs up.
All the way up to the top.
She gets the keys for her basement and then starts to.
Starts to
down.
no, but then she throws the body outside. So basically,
She tries to throw a whole bunch of stuff outside the third floor window to attract people's attention.
and then when she gets to the top floor to the old man's apartment, she wraps Raymond's body in a blanket and then throws his body out the window to try to get attention.
And then backup arrives. This
Backup.
man, he's called the Liquidator in the credits, is probably one of the smartest slasher killers I've seen, and he's probably the best part of
Me
this
and
movie.
James were like trying to like figure out what to name him, and like we were like thinking like Mr. Prepared or something.
Because
But then
he has everything.
and then we just looked in the credits and it's like the Liquidator.
Well, technically, yeah, well, you know.
But yeah, you
So
understand
then
why it's called the
she's
Liquidator.
like yelling at him, trying to notice her, and then he looks up and he's like, and she's like, "Oh no, it's the guy!" And then so he comes in, he knocks down the door, and then also all the doors and windows are boarded or chained up, so they couldn't just walk out of there. And then so she hides in a room. He breaks down the door, he drags the body inside, he has this big bag, he pulls out more chains from the bag and then re-chains up the door,
Yeah.
and then he goes upstairs to help the
Help.
guy.
Help.
So he's like, "Oh, thank you for help, thank you, can you help me now?" He puts down the bag and I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh, shit.
He pulls out this big fire axe, and then he just goes ham on
Shit.
this guy. He cuts off like this part so that the arm that's like stuck is just hanging there from
Yeah.
the belt, and he also cuts off his head in the process, and the head rolls down the stairs.
And then he goes back downstairs to liquidate the bodies.
He goes downstairs. No.
Opens his bag
No,
up.
does he throw in the tear gas before or after he goes back downstairs? I think
That's after, because he puts his mask on downstairs.
no, that was basically just walking into the room with the tear gas. So then he using the door. Okay, so he uses the hole that was made of a fire extinguisher. He throws in a canister of tear gas,
And then puts
and
in
it
like
flushes them out.
yeah.
But they go through the hatch into the other room. He then drags both bodies downstairs. He goes back in his bag. He gets some dry ice
And
and
pours
freezes.
it.
He pours it on the body and the head, and he freezes it before smashing it with a hammer, and then freezing
Liquidates.
that part, so that he's basically just getting all the evidence like gone.
Yeah.
This man is a professional.
Yeah.
He's a
That's why we said
pro.
he was so prepared.
Yeah, that's why he is Mr. Prepared.
I just like how they named him the Liquidator because he froze like two people.
There's a term. I think it's a term to liquidate something. But I don't know what the term is. I don't think it's turn things into liquid.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes back on, puts on a cool gas mask, and then walks back upstairs. He walks back upstairs,
and
knocks on
opens-
the door. He gets a flare so
Yeah.
he can see, and then they're like, "We gotta get to the basement."
Yeah.
No, we got Wait, did she get the basement keys?
No, she didn't, because Simon gave it to them later.
Oh yeah, the
So-
basement keys are on this guy because he took them off the other guy's body.
Yeah.
And then, so they begin climbing to the top using the ladder, the same ladder that Allie used to climb to the old man's apartment the first time, yeah, to try to get someone's attention. So then they climb up, and this is the stupidest part of the movie. Allie tries to activate like the service elevator to get them all the way up.
And she's like,
She's trying to put the wires together.
and she's like so hesitant, and she's not just going like,
She puts the wires together and an alarm goes off because
Yeah.
it's the wrong wire. So then the liquidator is like, oh boy,
oh,
looks like it's time to liquidate.
stop.
Looks like it's time to liquidate, boys.
Yeah.
So
and
then he walks upstairs, Allie hides in a room, and Simon, he picks up Simon off screen.
like, but Simon's like, I'm not gonna go, you go, and I was like, oh
Gives
no,
him a
I want you
stab
to go.
wound.
He's like, oh no, I'm too stabbed.
Because of his stab wound, he doesn't have mobility, right?
Yeah.
So then the liquidator grabs him, throws him against a glass window. He's down, and then he crawls over. He tries to get the key, but he never, he does get it, but we don't see that at that part. The liquidator then picks him up. Simon says, "You don't hurt her," and then he just throws him off the stairs, and he falls, presumably to his death, but we don't know yet at this moment. He then tries to axe the door in. He tries to knock the door down, but then she climbs out a window and she parkours
To the
to another room, and he notices that he's in another room. So he
one thing I thought Allie was gonna do was she was gonna slowly slide down that pipe and stop at the window edges, and then slide down again, stop, slide down again, you know what I mean?
and then just leave.
And then just leave, yeah.
Yeah.
She could have done that, but she was stupid because this is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
So
But basically, what happens next? So, yeah, she goes to the bottom of the stairs
and finds Simon,
finds Simon's body,
and she flips
he's
him
still
over,
alive. He's still alive,
and
but
he's
I don't
just
know how.
he's vomiting up blood.
And then he gives him the basement key, and then he points up, and then this big, I think it's an engine or
I
something,
know.
lands on his head and crushes it. And then,
And Allie was just standing there like this, 5 minutes, and then just started screaming her head off after seeing her. Were they married or was it
this
just
is his
dating?
boyfriend.
Her boyfriend died. It took her 5 minutes to scream.
And then the liquidator begins his descent down to
Yeah.
the
But
bottom floor.
the liquidator somehow catches up to all of them by walking at such a slow pace.
He's walking.
He's walking the whole time.
Well, man, that's the thing of every slasher movie ever. The killer walks, but he finds a way to catch up.
Yeah.
So basically, she goes down to the basement, and he gets out of his bag, the liquidator's bag, a big stick. I thought it was a stick. And I was like, what do you use a stick for?
I'm like, it's a
He
glow
correctly
stick.
guessed it's a glow stick. She goes down to the basement using the key. The basement is pretty crappy also. It's pitch black.
Yeah.
So then she goes down
And
a
finds a
hatch,
hatch.
and it goes to the sewage system.
Yeah.
So then she drops her flashlight, and it goes out because it was in the water. And she couldn't find it. Well, she did find it, but
So
it
she
was broken.
snapped her glow stick.
She snapped her glow stick, and she walked deeper into the sewers, and then the liquidator comes down, and he gets a red glow stick, and I was like, yo, she's a Jedi, and he's a Sith, we're gonna have a glow stick fight.
As we said, he's Mr. Prepared.
Mr. Prepared is he's Darth Liquidator.
Yeah. And so
He
he
comes downstairs.
somehow catches up to Allie, and she throws her glow stick. So at first we thought that she threw her glow stick up with her, because she started to climb up into this level crawl space. But no, she actually threw it across the room
Down
and
the
climbed up.
hallway so that it would trick him.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Then she's
She's
don't
above
go down,
him.
don't go
She's
down.
above him, and he walks past me, and so then she's oh, I guess good time to go down.
And we're like, no, don't stay there,
So
Allie.
then she looks down. She looks down, and the guy grabs her
And
from there,
flips her.
flips her down, and then chokes her out. I thought it would kill her, but she just chokes. And then it
She wakes
cuts.
up.
She wakes up.
And she's under like a sewer grid. So basically, you know how.
The water's like dripping down.
So
and
basically,
stuff.
in big cities, there's like big long sewer grids with like the little holes, and she was like in there, on
She's
the
like
ground.
under there.
Yeah.
And she had like dotted lines on her. She was like
Yeah,
almost
so
naked.
We thought she was
She
being
had,
sold
like-
on the black market.
She had like, and then this guy, the liquidator, just pulls out a whole bunch of tools, and then he pulls out a hacksaw and begins trying to saw off one of her feet. But
Yeah.
but then she gets like a twist tie.
It's not twist tie.
Oh, it's like a twist tie. I think
So
it's-
basically, you know, it's basically those things where you go like, huh, and it like
That's a
kind of like,
twist tie.
it's not called a twist tie, I think.
I'm pretty sure that's.
Okay,
what it's
whatever.
called. We'll search it up
A
later.
twist tie, and
Puts it around his neck,
neck.
and then
tightens
tightens
it.
it, and then he's like, ah.
But like one of the
ah.
things that I noticed was you don't pull on a twist tie to tighten it. You pull on both sides to tighten it. And she just pulled on it once, and somehow it tightened
And he's
it.
like, and then she picks up a scalpel and she attempts to run at him, but he grabs
Stops
her
her.
and and headbutts her down,
And then
he
she-
gets
and
on
she
top of her
gets
and
up,
tries to choke her.
And then she gets again and pulls
she
it.
pulls it, and then he
And
chokes,
he's like,
and he's like,
"Ah!"
chokes,
And then he fell down.
he's dead. He dies. That was the death of him. No, she just lays there for a couple seconds.
She's like,
and then he
it's like
tries
she's
to-
like switching her leg position from this to that, from this to that for like 5 seconds.
And then he grabs her leg, and she's not dead. And she shakes him off, and then grabs
The
the
axe,
axe, and
and
she's
then-
like, "Go to hell!" And then cuts into him with the axe, and he dies. And then she just another delayed scream, and then she just lays there in a ball as it zooms up through the sewer grate to see people walking over, and then zooms up into a shot of the city, and then it's
through
just
Spain.
the end.
Yeah, and that's how it ends.
So Joel,
Yes.
what would you rate this movie out of 5? 5 being the worst and 1 being the best.
Probably 4.
4. I would give it a 3 because it had decent gore and a pretty cool
I agree
killer.
with that. That's why I give it a 4. But like, the acting and like switching from Spanish to English, I think was a bit annoying.
Yeah. Well, one time I did watch an entire movie in German.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie. Pan's
but, like-
Labyrinth, you should really watch it.
Like movies with like straight one language is I like, but
But
like
it's
when it comes on
switching, it was
switching back and
switching, yeah.
forth, it's annoying.
So the total rating, you give it a 4, I give it a 3.
So that would be a 7.
7 out of 10. Not the worst movie.
It had a 3-star rating.
I would watch it again if I had a couple friends and we were really tired.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't plan on watching it by myself. I would watch it with a couple friends, probably. But that was our review on Sweet Home. So yeah, please like the video, comment down below, share with friends, subscribe to HBone Club. This has been low quality content. We'll see you in the next video of gaming, or is it over yet? Doesn't matter. I'll see you, and Joel will be here sometime. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the end of this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.